So it's Sagar from Royalty Gaming Pokemon here, and I'm bringing you a video that's going to be a recap of our 45 card express submission that did arrive back here a couple of days ago. Of course, we did go over the hits or the pulls on stream, but I did want to just sit down and make a video going over all the pulls that we got or all the grades that we got in, just because I think it'd be pretty cool to kind of document what we got through our submissions throughout the times here, because obviously we've been doing a lot of express, so I think it'd be cool to sort of just, sit down and take a couple minutes to record a video and go over the grades. So the first three cards we got up here, these are all for Daniel D. So he sent out 3 cards. Unfortunately, we start off a little poorly here with a 7, but I looked at the card again. Honestly, there's nothing really looking like it's totally off with the card, but there must just be like some scratch or some damage we can't really see with the naked eye. But his second card was the Evo Zard. This one ended up pulling a Mint 9. And last but not least, he had a Gem Mint 10 on his Secret Rare from the Champion's Path. So that was pretty good there. So started off poorly, but ended up pretty good. Next up, we have 3 cards. These were for Mark N, and he ended up sending out a Charizard from Full Art from Evos as well. He got a PSA 9, so a little better than our previous one. He sent out an Evo Zard. This unfortunately pulled an 8, and honestly, the Evolutions Charizards are really, really hard to grade. So like pulling a 9 is kind of like pulling a 10 almost. Not really, but you know what I mean. And his third card was the Charizard from Darkness Ablaze, and that one was a Full Art, and I got a 10. Up next, we have Richard S., who sent in 2 cards. He sent in a Reverse Holo Charizard. This one pulled a 9. And like we said before, pretty much every Evolutions card is really, really hard to grade, sort of just due to like the poor printing quality of the set. And then he also sent in a Champion's Path Promo Zard. This one luckily got the 10. And this is another card that was actually kind of poorly made as well. And then we have 3 cards up for Justin S. He sent in a Shining Rayquaza, and luckily this card pulled a 10. You might be able to see it in the video, but this side right here is way, way thicker than that side. So PSA must have been sleeping, but honestly, this card's like almost $300 and a 10, so we'll take that. We'll definitely take that. Then next up, he got a 10 on his Darkness Ablaze Full Art Zard, and then he got a 10 on his Champion's Path Rainbow Zard, so that was pretty good. So overall, 3 10s, so that's pretty good, can't really complain. And then we had 10 cards for Teddy. So Teddy W, he had 10 cards. So he sent in 2 Evolution Zards. The first one ended up pulling a 9. And unfortunately, the second one also did end up pulling a 9 as well. So at least they were both 9s and no 8s. And like we said, really, really hard to pull a 10 out of the Evos, Holo, Reverses, and honestly any card from that set. Next up, he has the Secret Rare from Champion's Path. That one pulled a 10. He has a Hidden Fates Shiny Charizard. That pulled a 10. And then he has another one that also pulled a 10. And then he has the Charizard VMAX. This one is from the Japanese starter deck. So for those who do not know, this comes from a theme deck in the Japanese. So technically it's a promo. So yeah, so just in case you didn't know that. But that pulled a 10. Next up, we have some CP6 cards. So this is the CP6 Charizard. So for those who do not know what CP6 is, it's the 20th anniversary for the Japanese set, similar to how the Evolutions is in the English. This is basically the Japanese counterpart to that. And in that set, they also have a Secret Rare Charizard Full Art, so it's actually really cool. You see Magmar and Flareon chilling in the back, but those both got a 10. And then we also sent in another set form, and we just sort of separated them. That way they could both get the sequential grading on their authentication numbers. But pretty good. So overall, Teddy got 8 10s and 2 9s. So really, really no complaints there. Up next, we have Clay H. He pulled a 10 on his Champion's Path Zard, so that's pretty good. Can't really say much about that other than congrats on the 10. Up next, we have a big hitter here. This is a Charizard from base set. Now, this one's for Stuart L. This one, unfortunately, did pull the 7. I say unfortunately, but honestly, on an old vintage card like this from the 1999s, yeah, can't really complain. It was still pretty good. So, 7 on that. Up next, we have Christian M. He got a 10 on his Umbreon from Hidden Fates. He actually ended up pulling this card right here on stream. Could tell right off the jump that it was pretty nice, and boom, got a 10. So good on that. Then we have 1 card coming up for Ryan F. So Ryan sent in a Charizard VMAX from Darkness Ablaze, and this card also pulled a 10. So pretty good. I think overall, throughout the whole submission, we had 45 cards, and 30 of them got a 10. So can't really complain with those kind of percentages. But up next, we have Friedis, so Friedis H, and he sent in 1 Charizard from Evolutions. Unfortunately, it pulled an 8. He sent in 5. That's right, 5 of them, all of which just got a 10. So 5 Darkness Ablaze, Full Art Zards, every single one pulled a 10. So that's really good. That's actually really, really good. And then he also sent in a Cosmic Eclipse, Charizard, and Brexen. That pulled a 10. And lastly, he sent in a Champions Path Rainbow Zard, and that also did pull a 10. I think out of all the modern Zards that we sent in, only one of them got a 9. That we'll see here a little later. Up next, we have Matt L. He sent in a Charizard from Evolutions through our express service, and he got a PSA 9. And like I said, getting a 10 on that card is really, really, really difficult. Then up next, we have Christian R. He sent in a Charizard VMAX Rainbow Rare as well. He also got a 10, so very good on that. And then we have another big hitter coming up. Once again, the same card. This is a Charizard from base set. This one is for Angelo K. Somehow this card actually, I mean, I remember looking at it ahead of time. The holo foil was very, very clean compared to the 7 that we saw. So honestly, if this card was a little better centered, as you guys can see how thick that left border is here, this card would have easily been a 9-10 candidate all day. But honestly, just because of the poor centering, it got knocked down to a 10. But other than that, the card was pretty gorgeous. And then we have 3 cards coming up. This is from my man Tyler L. He got a PSA 9 on his Gengar Prime from Heart Gold Soul Silver, Triumphant. He also has a Pretend Pikachu. So for a lot of people are not really familiar with the Japanese cards, but this card is amazing. The Poncho Pikachus, also known as the Pretend Pikachus, are really, really, really fabulous cards. So this one ended up pulling a 9, and as you can see, this is the Pretend Gyarados Pikachu. And he also sent in a Hidden Fate Zard, so this one ended up pulling a 9. So can't really complain, 9 or 10 on the modern cards are kind of all you're really asking for. Anything lower than that is kind of when you could start to kind of, complain a little bit. And then next up, we have the 9 that I was talking about here. So this is from my man Kenneth S. Unfortunately, his did pull a 9. As you can see here, it's a little thicker on this side, pretty thin on that side, and kind of the same story on the back as well. But nonetheless, a 9, we do take those. We definitely do take those. And then our last person on the list here, this is Brian G. He had a Champions Path promo Zard from the CP ETBs, of course. That got a 10. He sent in a Scizor from Hidden Fates. That one got a 10 as well. And his last card also did get a 10, and that's the Shiny Full Art Zard from Champions Path, and that also did get a 10. So yeah, so that pretty much sums up our 45 card express submission. Like I said, really enjoy getting these cards back. Really nice grades. Like I said, I think 30 out of the 45 cards we sent in got a PSA 10, which is about a 66%. So that's actually really good. We also did send in a lot of vintage stuff, so you can't really expect that stuff to do well. But other than that, guys, just want to make the video to document the submission, and I'll see you guys later. So thanks for checking it out.